And you ask him very salient questions relating to policy, to governance, to specific issues of governance that we have applied or we're applying. He has not, throughout the interview, been able to controvert or to counter or to disagree in the real sense of the word with the policies that we are implementing. For example, you ask him about fuel subsidy. He said he will remove it, and that what we did was not in an organized way, and he will do it in an organized manner.
All right, guys. Once again, I want to welcome you back to Trending Nigeria, and it seems that we have a right of reply from Daniel Bwala. Daniel Bwala, the special advisor to the president on policy formation or policy communication, featured on Chinese TV yesterday, one of their popular programs, Politics Today, and he debunked a lot of things said by the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023 presidential election, Peter Obi. Peter Obi has earlier featured on the same program, Sunday Politics, where he said a lot of things concerning this particular administration. He said the administration is not compassionate and not that. He accused them of so many things and other. He said a lot of things. He accused them of borrowing higher despite removing the fuel subsidy. They borrow more than what Goodluck Jonathan, Yaradua, and other have borrowed. Also, part of this was what Daniel Bwala responded to another. So let us leave what Peter, he said a lot of things concerning this present administration, and I believe this is a kind of right of reply. So we have Daniel Bwala. As you know, Daniel Bwala is one of the vocal individual in this country. He has been vocal. He has been supporting politicians. You know, he have worked for Atiku Abubakar, and that is why some people are also coming against him, that he's never a stable person. But let us be critical for once. Let us remove emotion for one. Let us also remove anything that can also damage the country, rather than the right policy. If you are coming, you need to come with the right policy. You need to give us what you are going to do better. All right, guys, I believe we should listen to Daniel Bwala in this particular interview. And please, you drop your comment, what you think about it, and also you also subscribe here, so that you get opportunity to always get our update. So guys, let us listen to Daniel Bwala.
And you ask him very salient questions relating to policy, to governance, to specific issues of governance that we have applied or we're applying. He has not, throughout the interview, been able to controvert or to counter or to disagree in the real sense of the word with the policies that we are implementing. For example, you ask him about fuel subsidy. He said he will remove it, and that what we did was not in an organized way, and he will do it in an organized manner. You ask him again, what do you mean, or how do you explain the way you will do it in an organized manner? He said he will remove the corruption in the subsidy before removing the subsidy. Absurdity. Actually, the corruption is in the subsidy. When you remove the subsidy, you remove the corruption. When you ask him a question about how to fix power, he said he will fix it. It's not rocket science. You say, okay, he should explain it. He said Egypt did it in 5 years. You ask him, okay, how will you explain it? He said Shewin is not rocket science. Was not able to answer. When he started raising this furious allegation about empathy, the question to ask is, and if you can look at it the world over, opposition political party try to not only talk, but try to do what they feel the government is not doing. In all these places of crisis he's talking about, and all the places where he said empathy was needed and the president wasn't there, was he there? Were the teams there? Is their coalition? They have not, in the last 2 years, demonstrated to Nigerians that they actually care about the plight of the Nigerian people. They are rich in their rights. They have not used their money, their contacts, their understanding, they have not mobilized the Nigerian people in any respect What they do is the minute there is a crisis, they issue press statements. So their greatest strength in opposition is issuance of press statement, but without a definite plan of what they will do. And you see what, Dr. Shaw? Everything they have been talking in the last few days that they will do when they take over power, we're already doing it. When you ask him question about investment, he said he believes in production and not in consumption. You ask him how will he govern Nigeria, he said he will invest in education. Okay, we're already investing in education. We have 300,000 people, indigent members of the society, who have access to school because of the funds that is provided. We have invested that in human capital development that he talked about. And you see the increase of the minimum wage. You have seen living conditions, workers across Nigeria being touched. Meanwhile, when he was a governor in Anambra, it was during his time that he increased the school fees of non-medical students from 35,000 to 75, and for medical up to 125,000. That led to some people pulling out of school and some people unable to finish. There were strikes during his time as governor. In fact, when the university went on strike, he sacked the vice chancellor. It is during his time as governor that the hospitals in Anambra had to go on strike because he could not provide a good living condition for the medical people. And he started persecuting the people, preferring mission schools over government school. This is the same Peter Obi in our climb and in this generation to wake up one morning and come up with an idea like a clap of thunder out of a blue sky. There is this thing called Bajwe. Sometimes you tend to think as if the Nigerian people are children. So whenever I listen to them about what they want to do, they have not been able to come out with it. Look at our policy, for example.
Let's take some of the issues one after the other. And right. There are litany of criticisms against this government in the wake of its 2 years anniversary or marking its 2 years in office. Mr. Peter Obi's comments are just one of those commentaries. But first, Mr. Peter Obi raised the issue about empathy. People died, and the issue about Mokwa, for example, and how the president has not been able to go on the ground. He says if he's elected president, he will go on the ground to such places. He says that kind of situation, wherever it is in the world, leaders will go on the ground, on the ground in that place. He mentioned the issue of people dying and the commissioning of both station by the president. He says that is insensitive. He spoke about even the issue in Benue. The president could not go right to Yawata. The president only stayed in Makurdi. These are the issues about empathy. And any leader who wants to lead the country, from Mr. Obi's reference, it should have empathy. Does it look like this government doesn't have concern for empathy for citizens?
Very dark man has more empathy than Peter Obi. He's not a politician, but he was in Benue. Why does he have to wait until he becomes a president before he gets to Benue? Why will he wait until he becomes a president before he will demonstrate? Empathy is personal and it can be public. So him as a person, where
principal did not go there. Why is it that your principal, is there any reason why the president couldn't go to Yawata, couldn't go to Mokwa, and commissioning bus stations when people have died in the same, when soldiers are being buried?
So one thing about leadership is you have so many things and you have to prioritize them. If the president were to be physically in Yelwata, would he have made the differences he was in Benue? You see, some of this rhetoric of Peter Obi and by extension the opposition is neither here nor there. It is because they lack basic things to talk about as far as governance is concerned. They go to talk, okay, because if he was not in Benue, they will say he didn't go to Benue. Now he went to Benue, why didn't he go to Yelwata? The shifting of goalposts is one of these elements you find in these internally displaced politicians. How many of them are gasping for power now? About 6, 7 of them. Who among them has gone there? Go to England, go to America and see the opposition, what they would have done. Secondly, Peter Obi is talking about, how did he even put it about that the president was commissioning something instead of going to where people have died? If he understands the institution of the presidency, if he understands leadership, if he even knows the constitution of Nigeria, he knows that under Section 5, the president exercised that power by himself through the vice president, ministers, agency heads, and government of the federation. So anybody in this government that you see in any part of Nigeria where there is crisis, and I dare say the national security advisor has been going to all these places where there are crises. The military officers have been going in all these places where there are crises. The intelligence officers have been going to all these places where there are crises. These individuals are representative of Mr. President, except if he doesn't know what Section 5 is. And this is why they don't even know how to register a political party. And they started complaining. I find it very intriguing, honestly, that this element that come together under opposition have still not been fair to the Nigerian people to come up with concrete plans that they have. They are association of people desperate for power. Unfortunately for them, Nigerians know them. These people do not come like a clap of thunder out of a blue sky. We know their history. In fact, one of the characteristics of Peter Obi is falsehood, disinformation, and misinformation. Since 2023, when people fact-checked him, he has ceased saying, go and verify. So when I listened to some of the things he was saying that 2 days ago, I felt ordinarily we are not even supposed to react to him because Peter Obi now is a non-issue, is a non-starter. Already he has considered his presidential ambition to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Now he has become a second fiddle, but he needs to fight for the vice presidential ticket with Rotimi Amechi. And from what we are hearing, they have in a badway manner convinced him that he will be director general of the campaign to lead the movement, and that when they win election, Atiku will do one term, and then Peter Obi will come back to become president. Badway plus badway is equal to badway.
Let me ask you. Mr. Obi alluded to the fact that this government has run this country into more debt, and it says this government has borrowed more of 24 or Q1 of 2024, and that's about 24% increase in our debt profile, and that is the inference Mr. Peter Obi made.
And it's false, because some of his people went and asked Grok, Grok, that artificial intelligence assistant. And this is what Grok said. Peter Obi's claim that Tinubu borrowed more than Yar'Adua, Jonathan, and Buhari combined is a distortion. In Naira terms, debt rose from 46 trillion in 2023 to 149 due to Naira devaluation, not new loans. US dollar debt actually fell from $113 billion to 97, a net repayment. Previously claims added to 97 of 94 billion combined in real terms. So Grok came out with facts to disprove the falsehood of Peter Obi that it is not devaluation that accounted to that amount he's mentioning as debt, and it is not debt. Peter Obi does not have knowledge of statistics now. There is no fact he reels out that when it is verified has not come out as false. There is not a single one. And he knows that it's falsehood, but he's happy to just throw it because he has an army of people called the obedient who normally don't use their brains in interpreting whatever he says, but they take hook, line, and sinker and run to the market with it. Throughout today, I've been on social media, for the times that I've had. They have been asking Grok questions, and Grok has been fact-checking and giving them what they were not prepared for. The summary of everything Grok has been saying today is that Peter Obi has not been given the facts as they are in his allegation. The only thing Grok said that is a bit fair to him, he says that Peter Obi is somebody that is respectable. But the facts on ground don't support that. This is the point. But he's not even going to be the presidential candidate. The reason I'm out today is just to debunk that. He's not even our focus. He's not even going to be the vice president. I mean, director general of their next campaign. We will now be wasting our time and be responding to him. He has deceived the obedient because their contract with him is that he's going to be the president, and now has been reduced first to second fiddle and now to the position of director general to lead the campaign that in 2031 he will be made president. So Nigerian people will know the days of sentiment that he used in 2023, religious sentiment, is over. If you have noticed the thought that Peter Obi deceived, they are not with Peter Obi at the moment. Their eyes are open. Secondly, the youth that Peter Obi claimed to have represented, Peter Obi has never identified with the youth. But the third and the most important thing, because what is the most important is that anybody who wants to wrest power from an incumbent government should come with alternative facts, come with alternative policy. That is the only thing that matters. But this coalition have not been able to come up with any. policy that is alternative. Everything they say they want to do, we're already doing it. So why fix it when it is not bad?
The big question right here in the debate, and the reasons why the opposition coalition says they're coming together, is to the fact that this government has not met the expectations based on promises made and performance that have been delivered. And I was going to also ask you, are there preparation within the villa? Because we understand that there is a warning from the coalition that you guys need to start preparing your handover notes and start getting out of office, because the opposition coalition is serious about sending the president back to Lagos in 2027, and they said they will keep to that. The fear and the storm brewing, even in the APC, there are those who are saying that the party may not be able to withstand the storm that the opposition is bringing to it. Is that realization in the presidency, and is that driving in the minds of those who are in power right now?
Honestly, Seun, they are living in the fool's paradise. And let me explain. You see, all this fantasy of coalition, we all know that once there is a phenomenon like that, they are going to have a good 2 to 3 weeks of all this romanticizing of we have idea, we can do this. But one of them, his name is Dati, already sensed the danger that lurks ahead for them. And he said that the problem of this coalition will be who will be the presidential candidate, because right now, he said, I'm quoting him, everybody wants to become president. You see, this thing it's because the media hyped them, because they come together. After 1 month, when they sit down, I am telling you, Shehu, on my own honor, in the next 6 months, that coalition team will not even be a conversation. They will be scattered. That's why Peter Obi said, I am still a member of Labour Party. Because he's looking at it that if the obedient people shout at him and they are going to depart from it, he's going to come back to where he comes from. So talking to us about packing out of the villa, the question I will have to tell them is it not the Nigerian people that will vote them? The Nigerian people don't like them because they have not been able to bring to the See, if you don't have
so Bwala, did you hear what the APC member said to me in an interview? Zainab Galadima, a member of your party, who said to me that this is going to be the toughest battle that the president will ever see. It is going to be the toughest for him. He also says that, he said there is a storm brewing. He said he's highly disappointed in the APC. I thought APC was really ready for victory. They did not know how to manage victory. And he thinks that there is a storm coming. That is the view of Zainab, a member of your party, who thinks that there is no chance in the world on green earth for President Tinubu in 2027.
I don't know her. I'm sorry. I don't even know her. And I don't think she has acquired the status that will require my response to what she will say. But I am talking about the coalition. Let me tell you, Dr. Shewan, is it not fair and respect to the Nigerian people that this coalition should be able to come out with alternative plan? Because when you come out with alternative plan, that means you respect the sensibility of the people you want to vote you. But when these aggrieved elements come together, one didn't get ministerial position, he's angry, he wants to unseat the government. The other one failed in the election last time, and the Labour Party became fragmented, and he's desperately looking for relevance in power because, of course, every election cycle, they make money. You have that element. There is another one who was defeated in the primaries, never supported the president in the campaign. He too has been angry. Then there is another one, my former principal, who believes that he's going to win. And in all honesty, I have expressed my opinion that it may never have been in destiny. I mean, destiny by God for him to become a president in Nigeria, because he has done everything he needs to do to be president, and he did not win the presidency. And 2023 was the biggest opportunity that my former principal, Atiku Abubakar, had. He would never have that kind of privilege again. So, and look at Asiwaju, for example. Have you seen him for one day talking about them? He's focused on governance. If even the body language we have in the villa is to remain focused on governance issue and not be distracted by the opposition. The only reason why once in a while we'll come out to talk is because when they reel out falsehood and we do not disprove it, then the people will believe that it is true. Or sometimes when the media call on us to react to it. If not, let me tell you, all these people you are calling the coalition coming together, they will not be, if you are bringing people in ranking order on our own side.
All right, guys, I don't know what you think. Believe we should leave our sentiment and also look at the issue critically. Why Nigerians are being deceived is because that we use sentiment to judge a lot of things. If somebody say is coming with a new idea, is coming to deliver, you need to highlight the pathway to his idea, how it's going to solve the numerous problem we have in the country and not that. And some people have said that if you cannot even solve the crisis in your party that led you to be moving from one party to another, how will you solve the bigger problem of Nigeria? That is not my word. So guys, let me know what you think concerning this. Let us relate our comment. Let us talk, continue the conversation in the comment section. And let us do this again in another video.